All right, I apologize for being
Recording in progress.
a few minutes late there. Thank you. Good morning. The January 31st, 2025 regular City of Knoxville Public Officer hearing is called to order at 9:33 a.m. I'm Nicholas Bradshaw, the public officer designated by the mayor as described in the City Code of Ordinances, Article 6, unfit buildings, and charged with addressing properties in the city that are out of compliance with the adopted codes of the City of Knoxville. The adopted codes include the 2018 editions of the following. These are all international codes: fire, building, residential, plumbing, mechanical, fuel gas, existing building, energy conservation, swimming pool and spa, and property maintenance codes, and the 2017 edition of the National Electric Code. The public officer is authorized to hold hearings, administer oaths and affirmations, examine witnesses, and receive evidence and issue orders as the result of his findings in determining the condition of buildings that are dangerous, unfit, and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants and/or public. The procedure for the public officer is as follows. Each case will start with a report and presentation of evidence by officers representing various city departments. Today, this will primarily consist of, but is not limited to, evidence presented by Mr. not Scott Elder, Alan Stonerock, from the Neighborhood Codes Enforcement Department for the City of Knoxville. Mr. Stonerock is employed by the City of Knoxville and is certified as a property maintenance and housing inspector. Following the city's report and testimony, the owner or owners and/or their legal counsel, as well as any members of the general public, will be given an opportunity to respond. The public officer has the authority to limit this time as per his discretion. Today's agenda will be modified to hear the cases of property owners present at this time and in the order signed up as you entered the hearing room. We make this accommodation to minimize any inconvenience to the owners and members of the public here today. For those actively participating in today's meeting, thank you. Your involvement and active participation is appreciated. As per legal counsel, I need to read the following notice of demolition into the record. Any person who intends to perform work on a structure that the public officer has placed an order against shall first make application to the building official and obtain the required permit. For orders issued by the public officer, please be aware that just obtaining permits and starting rehabilitation of a structure does not invalidate the city's power to take corrective action, such as demolition of a dangerous structure, regardless of the amount of work performed by the owner. All orders are still in effect if the rehabilitation work has not been completed and the structure has not had all final inspections approved within the time provided by the order, or by an extension if one has been granted. Remember, if rehab is not fully complete or an extension is not in place, the structure may be demolished after the order time has expired or after any prior written extension of time has expired without any further notice given to the owner. All right, are there any questions before we start and before all participants are sworn in?
Which property is that?
We've not started yet, but we'll go through the list.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't quite make it out.
Yeah, we'll read the address. We'll read the address for each property in order as we go today.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, all individuals testifying today will need to be sworn in. If you are testifying today, everyone, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, Mrs. Burke, please advise me of any individuals who arrive late and need to be sworn in mid-hearing.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Burke, what is our first property today?
It's going to be 1534, 1542, and 1544 Massachusetts Avenue.
All right. Mr. Stonerock, would you like to present the evidence on these addresses?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For 1534 Massachusetts Avenue, it was inspected on December the 19th, 2024. The inspection discovered that the accessory structure was being occupied along with other sites of vagrancy. The accessory is located on a lot without a primary structure and therefore cannot get permits to repair without zoning approval. The property is dirty and heavily cluttered with debris. The accessory structure is dilapidated and in heavy disrepair. For this property, we request an immediate repair demolition order for the accessory structure.
All right. Ms. Burke, is there anyone present to speak on this property?
Yes, sir.
All
You
right.
can come on up, yeah.
Yeah, step forward and say your name and address for the record, please.
Joseph Underwood, 107 Ridgeview Way, Strawberry Plains, Tennessee.
All right. What's your, there we go.
Sorry.
No, you're good, no worries. So what's your testimony on this property?
Well, the property was my wife's mother that passed away. Her sister was staying there. We wasn't informed that the property was left to her husband and her two sisters. And we're here to try to figure out what we can do to get everything in compliance and up to codes, try to figure out what we need to do. Sorry, we was just now informed of all this not that long ago.
Yeah, I understand.
Her husband, Jerry Welly, and her sister, Jessica Welly, stated that if they wanted, we could have them two sign off on the property to my wife.
That's Gabrielle
Yes.
Whaley Underwood? Are you disputing any of the condition of the property or the evidence here?
I went up there, I even have personal pictures, and there's actually more up there now. Someone's been dumping boats, tires, all kinds of stuff. We just didn't know about it.
I think you guys ought to consult with our codes department after the proceedings today, if you're able, and they can certainly help guide you through the process. The procedure for a meeting like this today, we're at the point now where we've done these inspections and have found a concern
Yes, sir.
that we're addressing. If you're able to remediate, this property, I think that's in everyone's best interest, but
Well, I own Bobcat, trucks, trailers, so I'll be willing to go up there and bulldoze it all down, to be honest, and clean it up, start taking it off to the landfill. That's what we was talking about doing.
you guys have any issues with discussing the future of this project after the meeting?
No, sir, that'll be just fine. Yeah,
Okay.
we did request the immediate demolition order, or repair demolition order, I should say, for the accessory structure, but if we're able to work with you, we'll do our best to do that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just to be clear, on the handout I just have 1534 Massachusetts Avenue. So that's, I know you said the accessory structure. What's the,
So this, excuse me.
At one time, it was 6 different lots.
Yes, sir. So there are multiple lots associated with this series of complaints. There are 2 of these lots have accessory structures only. One of the lots has a primary structure on it.
okay. But we're obviously going through them one at a time. I guess the story's going to be similar on each of the 3 lots.
Yes, sir, very similar.
And this particular one, 1534, it's this one? The pictured one?
Yes.
And that's an accessory structure. All right.
We can present the evidence on all 3 of them, if you want to see all 3 of them before issuing your orders.
That would probably be convenient if that's allowable.
Okay?
Do we have any, I appreciate you coming out today
Yes, sir.
and willingness to help remediate this problem, and I hope you can stick around and discuss that
I can be here all
going
day.
forward. Great, good deal. Do we have additional speakers for these properties? Okay, all right. Well, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
This guy was up here just talking. I don't know the guy, but,
Can you state your name and address?
my name is Ronnie Jenkins. 810 Park Street, Sardis, Georgia.
Okay. And what's your testimony regarding this property?
My testimony is, I got a lot of money tied up right here. I paid Shelley $2,400 to lease the place. I took a camper up here, it got burnt. There's another house, there's two other houses on this property, and it does. It all of it needs torn down, every bit of it. That's what I was trying to do. Thomas died, Teresa died. They don't want to take it to probate and to get it out of her name. And they got me for $2,400 already and a motorhome. And, I mean, where do I stand now? That's what I need to know. Am I gonna lose all the way around?
So you're leasing?
I got a lease, signed contract.
Yeah. And you're
From
living?
Thomas. From Thomas that was buying the property from Teresa. Now, Teresa died, Thomas died before they got the paperwork finalized. All right? I got my paperwork from Thomas. He was buying it from Teresa. So, you know, it's a mess. And nobody wanted to do anything with this property. I talked to Miss Ellison. I think, and I cleaned it all up, almost everything, but the three houses. There's two houses in that building. And I told her, I can't go no further. You know, I got dump trucks of my own. I'd come up here and get it all took down in no time. But I ain't gonna keep on wasting money. This guy here, I ain't never met him, I don't know nothing about him. But I know, when I was up there cleaning the place, I never seen nobody up there. I cut the grass this year, the only person that's been up there and cut it, and done anything to the property. I mean, just like he said, it's worse than that now.
I understand.
And
It does sound like we have some
Yeah,
probate-related issues that need to be worked through. I mean, that's not necessarily in the scope of this hearing today. I think what we're here looking at today is the state of the property and the codes violations
Right,
that are
right.
present.
right.
I'm not really in a position to rule on any kind of probate-related issues you have. You know, it
That's
does
what-
sound like you've got a situation you need to work through.
Yeah, right.
Our scope today is really limited to the fact that we've got some code violations on this lot that we need to
Okay.
have addressed.
Okay,
But I absolutely, yeah, I think it's, you know, it's horrible when these situations happen, obviously for a lot of reasons, but
right.
I certainly hope you guys can work some of those issues out. But in terms of the property, what I'm hearing is you're not disputing the characterization of these violations that the city's found,
No,
correct?
Oh, no, it all needs torn down, every bit of it. I mean, it's bad, it's real bad. I mean, I went up there a couple of weeks ago, and I'm walking around at it, they're shooting drugs, needles all on the ground, it's bad, it's real bad, real bad. I mean, they need done something real quick. I mean, it ain't no fixing none of them sheds and buildings, all it needs torn down and hauled off.
Understood. Well, I appreciate your testimony on this property today. Do we have others signed up for this issue?
No, sir.
Okay. I would like to go ahead and hear the evidence on the other two lots, and then we'll make a ruling on all three.
There's 5 lots total. And every one of them from all the way down, every one of them.
On the agenda, we've got, 1534, 1542, and 1544.
There's a house,
And then the boarding on, also on 1544, is that correct?
That's correct.
that house burnt.
Yeah.
There's another house, it burnt. And they was talking about the fire department, they had a bill for that. I mean, I don't know.
There are about 5 lots that are in a row that were all owned by Miss Whaley, but there are only structures on 3 of the 5.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Well, if that's, let's proceed and let's hear the evidence on 1542 and then 1544.
So 1542 Massachusetts Avenue, it was inspected on August the 15th, 2024. The inspection discovered that the accessory structure was being occupied along with other signs of vagrancy. The accessory is located on a lot without a primary structure and therefore cannot get permits to repair without zoning approval. The property is dirty and heavily cluttered with debris. The accessory structure is dilapidated and in heavy disrepair. For this property, we request an immediate repair demolition order for the accessory structure.
All right, let's hear 1544.
For that, it was originally inspected on September the 28th, 2023. It was found to be vacant and unsecured. The utilities have been removed from that property. The property has become an attractive place for vagrancy and has been boarded and cleaned by the city on multiple occasions. The house was heavily damaged by a fire in July of 2024 and is in complete burned-out condition. Recommend an immediate repair demolition order on that property as well.
All right, I think bit unusual doing three like that, but I think it'd probably be appropriate if Mr. Underwood or Mr. Jenkins has any additional comments, give you an opportunity to say anything else, or you? All right. All right, no further testimony on these properties. I do find that the structures at, I can do these all in one, just procedurally, I can.
You can do them all in one, and then separate orders be paid for each.
Okay. I do find that the structures at 1534, 1542, and 1544 Massachusetts Avenue are out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and are dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. In terms of orders, the city's obviously requested an immediate order. They do certainly appear to be in very rough shape. Would there, I'm given the testimony from Mr. Underwood that he intends to take action. Would the city be opposed to a 60-day rather than an immediate?
I don't think we could do a 60-day. I think with this house right here, 30 days may be appropriate and we could work with him during that time frame. If he's not able to move absolutely forward by that time frame, we would have to take action in the interest of public safety.
Understood. Okay.
To support that statement, I will say that we would have to go through the process of notification and having the utilities removed, and that does take at least a few weeks. So we would not be out there Monday, per se, with the track hoe ready to take it down.
Okay. But a 30-day would not be objectionable to the city?
Well, with what Sherry actually just mentioned, I believe that would actually give a good period of time. We may not actually need to go forward with 30 days. I think if we were to see action taken as the process plays out, we really wouldn't necessarily need to give a full 30 days. If you were to go ahead and take action during the time the process plays out, I think it would resolve itself.
So if you issued an immediate order, it would be at least 30 days before we were able to go out there because of the extra steps.
Okay. I just want to make sure they have the opportunity to. Yes, sir. Yeah, so that's great. Okay. And Jim, I need to do 3 orders here.
You can do them all at once if it's all the same information on them, and then make 3 separate orders.
Okay.
Or you can do them separately.
I think they're all in the same boat from what it appears to be. So I will proceed. I'll order the owner to repair or demolish the structures at 1534, 1542, and 1544 Massachusetts Avenue immediately. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structures may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed, and the city may cause the immediate repair or demolition of the building, with the cost of such corrective action being a lien and collected as provided in city code. So ordered, and I do encourage you to stick around, talk to the team about plans moving forward, and we'll try to work with you if we can. All right. Ms. Burke, what is the next item on our agenda today?
4917 Kane Road.
Okay. Mr. Stone Rock, what's the city's evidence?
Yes, sir. This property was inspected on June 29th, 2017. The property has been vacant for some time. This structure was inspected by a City of Knoxville combination building inspector in December of 2024, who found that the structural integrity of the building was compromised. The ceiling joists have fallen, load-bearing walls have rotted. The city's chief building inspector has deemed the structure to be beyond reasonable repair and recommends demolition. Utilities have been removed from the property. The property contains several accessory structures that are dilapidated and need to be repaired or demolished. For this, we recommend an immediate repair demolition order for the main and the accessory structures.
Do we have someone signed up to speak on this property, Ms. Burke?
Yes, sir. Mr. Kitt.
All right, if you could, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Would you repeat that, please?
Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Okay, my name is Robert Kitt, 4917 Kane Road, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37921.
Okay.
Okay. That's my mailing address. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Really, the reason why it looks so bad is I had a couple angry teenage boys come in there and they kind of vandalized the place. You know, they pulled down the insulation and that kind of stuff, and you know, threw stuff off on the floor and everything. And I haven't been able to get in there and clean it up. You know, I got furniture I got to throw away and stuff like that. You know, they damaged. I'd like an opportunity to be able to bring it up to code if, you know, in the near future. But everything on the outside's pretty good, other than the fact that they piled some stuff up by the front door that was what's supposed to be there. And I do have a leak in the roof that I need to fix. But I've been in and out of the hospital for the last 3 years, so it's really been tough on me. And as you could see, I'm still on a walker. I had back surgery, and that really, I just got out of rehab the end of October, so I'm still building up my strength. And like I said, it's just got window air conditioning, and I had all new electrical on the outside put up, the pole and everything. That cost me $4,000 to get that done. So I just need to hire some help and get it done.
So just to be clear, you've not pulled a permit or you don't have a contractor currently to make these repairs?
I'm not in there permanently. Yeah, no, it's just for storage of furniture right now.
Yeah. But you've not hired a contractor or pulled a permit to make these repairs? As
For
of-
the outside electrical work, yeah. Yeah, they did all that. Put it all in new. This wouldn't even have been coming up if I hadn't tried to get electricity put in. You know, but like I said, the kids really hurt me. I would do something, but it's my son's stepsons, and I don't want to, you know, be very hard for me to try to do something with them without family you know,
Yeah,
hard feelings, you know.
sure, I understand. It's a tough situation, absolutely. Just, you're not disputing the characterization of this property, the condition of the property?
It looks a lot worse than what it actually is. You know, like I said, when the kids pulled the insulation down, so it all looks real good. And I do have a roof leak I gotta fix. But you can see I have, new windows across the front, brand new door on the front. And, and I don't know why they pulled stuff, like drainage pipes and threw it in the front yard. So it looks a lot worse than what it actually is.
Do
But I'd
you,
like to have an opportunity to bring it up to code if I can,
Yeah.
have that opportunity. That would be great for
Sh-
me.
absolutely, you can have that opportunity, and I encourage you to talk to our codes team. You will have an opportunity to bring that up to code, but they can talk to you more about some of the specifics on that. And in the meantime, we'll address the current condition, which is pretty poor, I think, as you acknowledge.
Yeah, like I said, it looks really bad. I have to come in, like I said, I gotta pull all the insulation down and clean it all up. But they pulled a bunch of stuff and threw it all over the floor and caused me a lot of problem. And they took a lot of my things too that I had in there, But like I said, since they're family, I didn't really want to try to bring any criminal charges against them. I'll just take the loss myself.
Yeah. So it is your intention to try to fix it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I'd been living in it until I got cancer. Then I had 3 bad years. I've been in and out of hospital and rehab for 3 years. So, yeah, but I would like to clean it up and fix it and make sure that it's up to code like it's supposed to be. I don't like, it really horrified me to come in and see it after I'd just got out of the rehab. I had back surgery. So, yeah.
Did you say we had vagrants in this property?
Have what?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I think I heard that, but I just want to double check, so. All right, any further testimony? Mr. Kitt?
No?
Okay.
Not that I can think of right offhand. I've got a few things on the outside that I need to get rid of. They're not mine. They're just family stored stuff there.
Okay.
Actually, some of it without my permission, so
Right,
that looks kind of bad. But I gotta
Understand.
do probably several trips to the dump just to get rid of stuff.
yeah, okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think we're in a bit of a similar situation as the last one. I certainly admire property owners who seek to make some of these repairs. Nevertheless, we're faced with a situation with a pretty serious set of violations on the code. Would the city have any objections to doing a 30-day repair demolition order?
I believe we would prefer to go ahead and keep the order as we requested if possible. Again, as the process plays out, it would end up being close to 30 days anyways. Extending it past that would potentially open the door to the property not being repaired for an additional 30 days, whereas we do need to get some action taken on this quickly.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's
You said 30 days?
Well, what we're gonna do, I've not made a finding just yet. I'll make a finding and issue an order momentarily. Whatever we do, if you intend to make repairs on this property, you need to get with our codes enforcement team, Mr. Stonerock and Ms. Burke, immediately, and get the process rolling on that, okay?
Well, I don't have any electricity, so, that's gonna hinder me, because everything's gonna have to be done with battery equipment,
Yeah.
So, yeah, but 30 days is, that's a pretty short time. I could probably get it cleaned up in that, but I don't think, because I'm gonna have to get a roof put down and everything, or at least repaired.
There's a lot of work that's gonna need to be done on, I don't wanna underestimate the violations on this one. It's pretty significant. So
What violation would be that significant?
I think you guys can get into the specifics of a repair plan.
We wouldn't even be in here if I hadn't tried to get electricity put on. You know, it would just be, you know, I've been able to just work it when it's convenient for me.
Understand?
I've done a lot more work in January, but with the temperatures being like it is, you know, it's just not amiable for me to do it, or, you know,
Yeah, understand.
like I said, there's no heat or anything in there.
All right. Are there any additional speakers for this
No, sir.
property? Okay. I do find that the structure at 4917 Kane Road, including the accessory structures, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public.
That's another thing
Excuse me, let me finish my ruling here, okay? Yep. I will order the owner to repair, demolish the structure at 4917 Kane Road, including accessory structures, immediately. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed, and the city may cause the immediate repair or demolition of the building, with the cost of such corrective action being a lien and collected as provided in city code. Ms. Burke, what's our next item?
2231 Knoll Crest Lane.
All right, Mr. Stone Rock, what's the city's evidence for this property?
Yes, sir. This property was inspected on May the 1st, 2024. The house was involved in a significant fire in February of 2024 and suffered heavy structural damage. The utilities have been removed from the property. The house has been boarded up and remains vacant and unattended. Currently, no permits have been applied for to repair the house. For this, we recommend a 90-day repair demolition order.
All right, is there anyone signed up to speak on behalf of this property?
Yes, good morning. Cole Hodge of McClinchy Stafford and the Nashville Bar represent Tennessee Development, a housing development agency, THDA. And THDA is the mortgagee on a deed of trust, which the owner of this property, Miss Megan Moon, is the mortgager. She's the borrower. And I think the THDA here is pretty fine with a 90-day order. Again, I think the main thing is we don't want this property demolished. We would request a repair order. I believe my colleague Dylan Reeves has been in touch with Mr. Elder and Ms. Burke about this property recently. And this is significant because we do have some insurance fund with Nationwide right now to cover the repairs. And these funds are to be paid out to both the THDA as well as the borrower. However, we've not been able to get in touch with the borrower for about 8-9 months now, just right after the fire. So, essentially, we're just asking for a little bit more time to get these funds and to be able to get some repairs done. But we don't dispute the findings in any way.
I'm assuming Miss Moon's not living here currently. She was,
No, my understanding is that she has some temporary housing through insurance, but that's run up. So, and I don't believe Ms. Moon is here today. But my understanding is, again, her funding for this temporary housing is going to run. So THDA expects to hear from her pretty soon.
does she plan on, so just for my own clarification,
Absolutely.
we plan on repairing the structure and habitating again?
That's our understanding. And I don't have a specific dollar amount, but I believe there's 6 figures that's going to be paid out to THDA and to the borrower specifically for repairs. And my understanding is there's equal to or more than that will be paid directly to the borrower through insurance funds. Again, the main priority now is just getting in touch with the borrower, Ms. Moon, and trying to get this wrapped up. And unfortunately, we were hoping to have this done. I believe we had a previous hearing set for December, and thankfully, we were able to get an extension, and we're hoping to be able to find some more time to get this accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was originally the November 1st public officer hearing, is that correct?
Correct.
I think I remember that, but, I mean, obviously, I mean, a 90-day, we don't want to demolish anybody's house that's a repair or demolition order, but we've got to make sure progress is occurring and these violations are addressed. So I think I heard you say that you did not specifically object to a 90-day repair demolition order.
No, I mean, that would be fine. And again, THD here, I mean, its whole commitment is to citizens here. And specifically in this case, we're just trying to make sure that we can get in touch with the borrower. We've got time to get these things accomplished because there is a plan in place. And once we get funds released, I mean, there might even be a possibility to get some funds paid into the court that we can use immediately for repairs. It's just trying to get all this accomplished and not being able to locate the borrower. But again, temporary housing's running up, so hope that she shows up because she's not got a place to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah. Well, all right. I appreciate you coming today. Thank you. Yeah.
appreciate it.
Any additional speakers on this property?
No, sir.
All right. I do find that the structure at 2231 Knollcrest Lane is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. I order the owner to repair or demolish the structure at 2231 Knollcrest Lane within 90 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed. And the city may cause the immediate repair or demolition of the building, with the cost of such corrective action being a lien and collected as provided in city code. Does that bring us to,
We're on 4914 McIntyre Road.
I see, okay. All right. Mr. Stone Rock?
Yes, this property was inspected on August the 23rd, 2023. It was found to be heavily dilapidated on the right side exterior. The right side of the house has exposed electrical wiring that is visible from the yard. The right side of the house is also missing siding and wall sheathing. The wall framing and insulation are exposed to the elements. The house is missing a porch at the left side egress point. The door opens out to a significant drop-off, creating a fall hazard. The front porch is missing adequate steps at the egress point, and the building shows signs of deterioration on all facades. For this, we recommend a 120-day repair-only order.
All right, do we have anyone signed up to speak on this property?
Yes, sir.
If you could please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, I'm Angela Merritt, 4914 McIntyre Road. This is my home that I own and live in. But
Okay.
I'm not super up on construction-y things, so my friend Jordan is going to speak on more to that.
Okay.
Hey, good morning. I'm just trying to help her with this. She got burned on a contractor, trying to do some repairs.
Can you state your name
I'm
and
sorry.
address for the
Yes,
record?
Jordan Bozeman, 1441 Ellis Woods Loop, Sevierville.
Okay.
And I think she was scheduled for last month to have this, but was dealing with her father passing away, so she was in Florida the day that she was supposed to be here. But I'm going to help her get just a general, I guess, the general building permit, and then all the requisite subs I'm assuming can pull their own. Since that all has been removed, and the remediation to that, I guess that would be that west side wall, has been addressed. That chase door is supposed to be addressed on Saturday, so tomorrow. And then as far as the other egress point coming out of that kitchen. That is right there. That is sealed off from the inside. So when that gets re-sided, that's getting closed off. So there is no way to exit that now. So it's solid and safe. But from the outside, obviously, it looks like a big fall risk. But we've got some pictures here of things that have already been addressed. So she's working on it, and I'm going to try to help her while I'm in town to get that finished up.
We have a permit pulled on this?
That's the goal today.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, let's see. We certainly need to make sure we're getting that work done and then get a permit. Okay. So these have been taken,
Those were taken this morning.
okay, so yeah, since the last inspection.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stone Rock, the date on the info sheet I've got is the last inspection was August 23rd of '23. Is that accurate?
No, sir, that was the original inspection date.
Oh, it's like I last inspected that date as well on the paper I've got. So when was the last inspection?
Let me check for just a minute, please. The last re-inspection, the noted site visit was September the 30th, 2024. We also, I believe we drove by on October the 17th, less formally.
My apologies, that's an error on my part.
Unacceptable. And Miss Merritt, is it? Okay, living in this structure? Could we, I mean, in light of the evidence, I'd feel comfortable if we could have a more recent inspection. Is that something you guys could do?
Let me review these photos just for a minute, please. We can do another inspection, or we could continue requesting the 120-day repair-only order. I believe ultimately, if they simply resolve it either way, it would resolve itself. If not, we would be able to reserve the right to proceed further from a city standpoint if needed, if they fail to move forward.
Well, it seems clear you are moving forward, and nobody's asking for a demolition order here.
Right.
Sure.
You know, we're not in the business of kicking folks out of their homes. So if we can help it, for sure. But would you guys have any objection to an 120-day repair-only order?
No.
Okay. All right. Any further testimony on this property?
No, not from not from my standpoint. Anyway.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. I find the structure at 4914 McIntyre Road is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. I order the owner to repair the structure at 4914 McIntyre Road within 120 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed. Next item.
2841 Linden.
Do we have anyone present to speak on this property?
We do not.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stone Rock, can you please present the city's evidence?
Yes, sir. This property was inspected on December the 24th, 2015. Upon inspection, it was found that the house was occupied by the owner. There is also an accessory shed on the property. There have been recent neighbor complaints that the owner has not only continually created a physical dirty lot and a mess, but also sewage in the yard. The inspector spoke with KUB and found that the water utility, the supply and the sewer, has been disconnected since January of 2023. The inspector also spoke with the owner on site during a site visit this month. He confirmed that the water and the sewer pipes in the house were disconnected due to leaks. Mr. Tague also mentioned that he had replaced the supply line from the meter to the house himself. That work was not permitted, and a small ditch remains in the front yard. He has been using local businesses as a plumbing alternative. The electric utility is still active at the home, but the inspector found that the rear fuse panel did not have a cover, thereby exposing it to the elements. The front porch is in disrepair, with the concrete being cracked and unstable. This poses a fall hazard to anyone needing to enter or egress the home. The concrete steps on the right side of the house have also deteriorated. There is a very lengthy complaint history at this address. Under the current ownership since May of 2013, the property has had 5 complaints of inoperable vehicles, 43 dirty lot complaints resulting in 2 bills owed, 7 zoning complaints, and a total of 6 structural complaints. The property is repeatedly noted as being dirty and cluttered with debris. The city has provided multiple contacts for possible assistance resources such as CAC and THDA to the property owner. The accessory structure is also in minor disrepair. For this, we recommend a 30-day repair order for the main and the accessory structure.
Is the owner living at this
Yes,
house?
sir. Yes, sir. I've been in contact with the owner of offering resources. He's trying to find a temporary alternative housing right now, with the understanding that it's difficult for him to. He's having trouble getting in touch with other resources, is what he's told me, to get the house repaired in a timely manner.
So it's his intention to make these repairs?
That's his
To your knowledge?
his stated intentions. Yes, sir.
All right. And no one's signed up to speak on this item?
No, sir.
All right, anything further, Mr. Stone Rock?
No, sir. That should be it.
Okay. All right, I find the structure at 2841 Linden Avenue, including the accessory structure, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. And I order the owner to repair the structure at 2841 Linden Avenue, including accessory structure, within 30 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed. All right. What's next?
We're on to boardings, 1108 Avenue A.
Okay, any testimony for this structure?
Yes, sir. This was boarded on April 25th, 2024. We request approval of the boarding charges.
Do we have any speakers for any of the boarding items?
We do not.
Okay. All right. I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 1108 Avenue A due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Next.
Next is 3230 East Fifth Avenue. This property was boarded on May the 28th, 2024. We request approval of the boarding charges.
All right, I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 3230 East Fifth Avenue due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public.
Next property is 4405 Fulton Drive. It was boarded on May the 31st, 2024. We request approval of the boarding charges.
I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 4405 Fulton Drive due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public.
Next one is 4414 Homewood Road. This was boarded on May the 23rd, 2024. Request approval of the boarding charges.
All right, I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 4414 Homewood Road due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. So approved.
So this is 4135 Ivy Avenue. It was boarded on May the 10th, 2024. Request approval of the boarding charges.
All right. I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 4135 Ivy Avenue due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public.
This is a 1544 Massachusetts Avenue. It was boarded on August the 23rd, 2024. We request approval of the boarding charges.
All right, I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 1544 Massachusetts Avenue due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public.
And then the last one here will be 2456 Woodbine Avenue. It was boarded on June 11th, 2024. The request approval of the boarding charges.
What are the boards on the lower section there?
The siding had been removed.
Oh, okay. All right. I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 2456 Woodbine Avenue due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. All right. Being no other business brought before the public officer on this day, the hearing is adjourned at 10:26 a.m. Thank you, everyone.